Alright, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Up is not as good as everyone says it is.
Whoa, you're
All
right.
yes.
All right.
Well, you shot that off too fast, my friend.
Welcome to the Magic of Animation, where we explore the enchanting world of Disney, from the classics we grew up with to the latest releases. We'll take a deep dive into the artistry, storytelling, the unforgettable characters, and the pure magic that makes these movies timeless. So whether you're a lifelong Disney fan or new to the magic, sit back, relax, and join us as we embark on our journey through the wonderful, magical world of animation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right up to the grandest podcast in all the land. Prepare to be dazzled as we soar into the magical world of Dumbo. My name is Joey, and I'm your self-proclaimed ringmaster, guiding you through the cinematic circus of wonders. And joining me are the magnificent trio, the Jokers of Joy, the Guru of Giggles, Dequan.
Oh my god, I love it. Hello.
The maestro of movie trivia, Kevin.
Hey there.
And the orchestrator of mischief, Mike.
Hello.
In today's episode, we find out if my 3-movie streak of liking the movies the least continues, or if the soft-spoken Dino stays true to his promise and gives the lowest rating. Or if the man who loves classic Disney with a passion that burns hotter than the sun turns his back on one of the cutest Disney characters in the history of the world and shocks us all. So grab your popcorn and your cotton candy and let the show begin. How was that?
That was amazing.
That was beautiful.
That was good. That was really good.
So we can jump right into Pooh's 100-acre check-in. DeQuandrick, how was your week? Hasn't really been a week because we recorded on Wednesday last week, but still.
It was awful. I've been so tired. Every time I get home, there's more things to do. I never got a chance to lay down, enjoy a TV or a YouTube video. I've just been working. And then I gotta go back to work again tomorrow. I got one off day this week.
Oh, that's the worst.
So yeah, very tiresome.
Kevin, how about you?
Oh, I had another busy week again. Right after we got back from our first trip down to Tennessee, we turned right around and went camping again for the weekend. But it was a great time. And then on Sunday, we also went and seen the circus in town.
Oh yeah,
that was my
Lakeside.
first time going to the circus, and that was a life-changing experience right there.
So my wife, we saw that because we went to, I think, Portillo's. I don't remember why we were over there, but we saw the tent. And do they still have live animals? I'm pretty sure most circus don't use them, so she was hoping.
Just dogs.
Okay, she was hoping that they didn't have anything. Because it's not good. Which we'll get into in the legacy segment. Sorry I interrupted your memories. Did you have anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Mikey.
Busy as well. Helped my parents do some cleaning around the house, around their on their boat. Help tidy things up because we have people coming in to our house to look at some stuff. So we need to get everything straightened out.
Wonderful.
So a lot of that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I have continued my 4-week streak. Ever since we started this podcast, I've just been nonstop busy, apparently. Of every weekend spending a ton of money, way too much money, and doing stuff all weekend long. This weekend, our TV died, so we had to buy a new one. And then the new TV was too big for our TV stand, so we had to buy a TV mount and mount it to the wall. And then, what the heck did we do Saturday? That's what we did Saturday. No, we did that Friday. So what did we do Saturday? I don't know. I don't even remember what we did. Did a lot of shopping, though. Oh, we went to the grand opening of Box Lunch at Partridge Creek. Do you guys know what Box Lunch is?
Yeah, I didn't know there was a
that
box
snack.
lunch there.
Yeah,
I
open.
know box lunch strictly from online, but I found out, earlier this week that they opened up the store, and I'm like, huh, they made enough revenue online to open up physical stores.
Yeah, so they had stores all over the country, and I was always super jealous. And then they opened one at Great Lakes Crossing. Yeah, Great Lakes Crossing. So I went there before, but I found out that they opened one at Partridge Creek, and I bought a baseball jersey for Tigger, and I love it.
I didn't know they opened one even at Great Lakes Crossing. I thought the closest one was 12 Oaks.
I didn't know there was one there, so yeah, there's one at Great Lakes Crossing. What is it? Yeah, Great Lakes Crossing is the one in Ann Arbor, right?
No.
What's in Ann Arbor?
I don't know.
I think it's Great Lakes Crossing.
Great Lakes Crossing's in Pontiac.
No.
Actually, I think he's right. Also, I'm gonna need someone to
Are you
explain what
thinking
this
Auburn
is.
Hills?
Yeah, I don't know why I said Ann Arbor.
The only box lunch that I know of is the one from Danny Phantom.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
So I need someone to explain this.
Hot Topic decided to open up like a less goth version of their store. And so they opened up Box Lunch, and it's just basically pop culture without all the darkness.
Oh, that makes me sad.
So one side of the store is all anime, and then the other side of the store is pretty much Disney.
You said it makes me sad, Mike, but you can buy a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild cookbook if you wanted to.
Wait, I don't cook.
Wait.
I don't cook.
But you might with that.
Wait, if it's Disney and anime, where does Zelda fit into that?
Well,
Does
I
it
mean,
fit
those are
into
just their
anime?
two
Yes, it's
biggest
pop culture.
selections.
No,
Like
I
there's
know,
a
I'm just
there's a
gonna
little
get you.
Shrek section in the back. There's a
Oh,
Funko
dude, that's
Pop
so
section.
anime. Oh, that sounds cool, man. I might check that out at some point.
It's a great store. I can't wait to go there every weekend and blow through my paycheck.
Wait, no. This. Got like this.
So without further ado, we'll jump into Zazu's report. Dumbo was released by Disney Animation Studios, like all the movies we've reviewed so far, on October 23rd of 1941. It was based on Dumbo the Flying Elephant by Helen Aberson, directed by Ben Sharpstein, produced by Mr. Walt Disney himself. I don't care about the story or the music. I don't know who any of these people are who starred in it, so we'll skip that too. The budget was only $950,000, and the initial release made them $1.3 million, so it was barely successful. And I can't find anything on the Lifetime box office, so I don't know if they've never re-released it or if that number is just not out there.
That's impressive, actually. That's a shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, they came in under budget for the creation of the movie. It actually only cost $812,000.
I'm actually shocked by how low budgeted this
Right.
movie was.
Well, I'm pretty sure
couldn't make
because
sense
of
to
World
its
War
runtime.
II, they were trying to not spend so much money, and Pinocchio and Fantasia cost so much money that they hadn't made money since Snow White, I believe.
Okay.
It was actually supposed to be a short film.
I mean, it is short. It's only
Yeah.
64
It
minutes
is
long.
the shortest film right now that we've
It's
watched.
the shortest one ever.
Wait, through all the movies, it's the shortest?
Yeah,
Man.
we went from Fantasia the longest to Dumbo the shortest.
Oh,
How they managed that, I don't know.
And then
Funny coincidence.
their tomato score is 98 and their audience score is a 70. So they got real close to that 100. So we will jump right into Dory's Dive into Memories. DeQuandrick, what is your memories of this movie?
My memory is ironic of this movie. Okay, so, and I'm gonna go from childhood memories, not like, when I say childhood, I mean like, toddler, like preteen, not teenager, like adult-ish, but like toddler. And the thing that I remember the most about Dumbo was the scene when they were just off the bottle. And I mean alcoholic beverage. Like, and I remember like the weird like neon elephants dancing. And when I got to that scene, when I was watching, I was like, this is where that came from. And that was my only thought process.
What does that mean?
I never knew where it came from. Like,
Oh, I thought you said this is where I came from.
That's what I heard too, and I had no
This is
idea what
my
that was supposed to
home.
mean.
no. It was this is where it came from. I never knew that. Like, I really never knew that came from Dumbo because I only watched Dumbo once. Well, this is not twice now.
That's amazing. Mike, I definitely heard this is where I came from and was also super confused.
As long as I'm not the only one, because I was like, wow,
Look,
what does
when
that
you
mean?
when you re-listen to the podcast, you'll hear this is where it came from, not where
I think we're gonna hear you say this is where I came from.
If I hear that, Mandela effect. That's all I'm saying.
We gaslit him.
Alright, Kevin, what about you?
My childhood memories of this film are just about as depressing as it still is to this day. That's about it. I just remember how sad this movie made me. I hated watching it.
Oh, okay. I was like wondering about like where like you were going with that.
Oh, like I had depressing stories about it. No, it just it doesn't need help.
Okay.
How about you, Mike?
So I have kind of a funny story. So when I was born with fully grown adult ears for some weird reason. I had big old ears, and I got that nickname Dumbo from this movie. And so that movie stuck with me for a long time, as it was the closest thing that everyone related to me. And so for a while, my mom really liked the movie because it was my nickname. I was at the same point of like being a toddler. I still had these big ears.
That's messed up.
It
Like,
is.
this
I look
where Mike came from.
Yeah. So I had that for a while, and also apparently that movie stuck with me so much that my mom actually would sing the song that they sing at night, the one with when she's coddling
Right.
Dumbo. My mom would sing that song to me as well. So that one stuck with her a lot and to me. So I have a little bit of emotional ties to this movie.
I
That's
like
about
it.
it.
So this is actually the first movie that I do remember watching as a child. But I don't remember anything about watching it as a child other than I remember watching it.
Jesus Christ.
So I got nothing.
Right now?
I got nothing. But there's some, when I rewatched it, there were some scenes where I go, wow, that's like really vivid in my memory of watching this. So, yeah, my memory is so bad I probably won't have memories until we get to like The Lion King, and even then.
No.
All the memories are going to be Joey's like, yeah, I watched that.
I watched it. That's it.
That's about it.
Valid.
All right, so if you guys are ready, we can get into the review for Ego's Column. Do you guys have any other ideas for Ego's Column? Because it made sense when it was an actual rating segment, but it's not really a rating segment anymore, so...
We'll workshop that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. So, category 1 is storyline/plot, and the plot is that of a baby elephant with big ol' ears that is rejected by everyone except for his mother and a mouse. He and that mouse try to find something to make him a star, and they do. He can fly.
Wish I could have flown as a child.
God, I love that mouse, man.
Mouse is great. Dude, the one that Stork was so like behind But like 2, that stork went so extra with that baby delivery. No other stork went out of their way like he did.
Uh-huh.
The other storks did not. They were just like dropping it off. This man was like, I go above and beyond. I might be late, but I'm going above and beyond.
Yeah, he was making up for being late. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this right.
Yeah, so I liked that he was late and needed to look at the map to figure out where he was going. And then I thought the dude had just like great sense of humor. Like when he was calling for Mrs. Jumbo, he was just like, Mrs. Jumbo, oh Mrs. Jumbo.
I'm just saying those other storks are bad employees. They may be on time, but they ain't doing their job right.
Well, they just dropped him.
Said, here, it's yours. Good luck.
That's why he went above and beyond. That's why he was so great.
All right.
He's like, I get it done on my time, but I do a great delivery service.
Also, he was delivering an elephant. Those things are ginormous. A baby elephant weighs over 200 pounds.
Yeah, that man got some strong jaw muscles, you know. He was able to carry that baby. Though I don't know why he kept trying to trust that, you know, the cloud. He kept sending back down on it, and I'm like, after the second time, I would not trust that.
Yeah.
I literally thought he was falling for a second.
Yeah,
No,
clouds
just
don't work
fucking-
like that, but Disney magic.
Yes, they do.
No, I know they don't. I'm just saying, that man set that baby on there, and he was going down, and they did it a second time, still going down. I would not have trusted that cloud afterwards. I would have been like, we're going somewhere else real quick.
So I do have a question. Why were the elephants the only animals that had to help set up the circus? That seemed pretty bogus.
Because they
Because
couldn't...
they're the only ones with the strength to.
To be
Yeah.
fair,
Well, I mean, they had a gorilla.
to be fair, why will the other animals not have acts in the circus?
Well, I'm sure they did. They just didn't see the need in showing them on screen.
Oh,
They kept
no.
having to show the need of them sleeping in a cave. They really like to show the tiger sleeping. Don't know why. Like, these tigers have done nothing but sleep.
Dumbo had showed incredible skill by tying those knots. Dude was like a day old, and he was just tying those knots with his mom.
That is definitely true.
And then that goober kid was mocking Dumbo and started pulling him and putting his hands on him, so Mrs. Jumbo had to step in to protect him, and then she gets punished for it.
There's supposed to be... There was... I remember being younger. There's a rule. You're not allowed to touch the animals.
Yeah.
But no one at that circus was doing their job and watching.
It was also the 40s.
That also shows lack of responsibility of the ringleader in the circus. You should you and your staff should keep a close eye on your animals, and it was not her fault. If he was there, he would have seen that the animals were being mistreated, but he was not paying attention. Bad ringleader.
I mean, they were mistreating the animals themselves.
Yeah, back then circus ringmasters were not good people to the animals.
Well,
That's very true, but they never showed them this group of ringmasters being awful. Like, in fact, the animals seemed like they loved them because they were more than willing to do a lot of things and smile the whole way through.
Well, that's
Until
because they
that
had to put
situation.
on a show where they were going to get beaten.
I'm talking about outside of them putting on the show. When they were in the carts, they were singing, having fun, which means that ringmaster actually treated them somewhat well.
yeah, they didn't really... You know, the movie doesn't portray the like, abuse that animals have gone through in circuses. Like, it doesn't portray that a lot. It kind of I actually kind of liked that they showed not only were people working to set up the tent, I mean, that they didn't just have the elephants setting up the tent, but they also had people doing it. Granted, the elephant shouldn't have been, but the fact that it's, like, not just put on them to be putting it up, you know, they were like, we worked together to set this up. Like, it made, when I was watching, I was like, this actually feels like a team effort kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they were slacking on their job of watching it because, again, you're not also allowed to touch the animals in those things, from what I remember. You're not really allowed to do that at all.
Who knows what the rules
none
were
of them
in
were
the
doing
40s.
their job. That is also true.
jump in topics a little bit, those terrible elephants kept making fun of Dumbo, calling him a freak. They even said, pretend we don't see him at one point. What the heck is that about? But I did love that Timothy was standing up for him and went in between them all to scare them.
Yeah.
Was that the mouse's name?
Yeah, Timothy Q. Mouse.
Q. Mouse.
Where did I miss that at?
You know, I'm in the same boat. Like,
I'm pretty sure he introduces himself to Dumbo right after that.
I just remember
I was
being Mouse.
waiting to hear him say his name, and I don't remember that.
I only remember him trying to get Dumbo to come out. He's like, "You ain't scared of little old me, are you?" I must have went too crazy back there.
I will also say this: this show, like, I quite literally despise the fact the way they treated Dumbo, like the other elephants. Like, what is that? What does that teach people in this world? Come on now.
Right.
That's the stuck-up hierarchy some people feel like they get into. That I'm more superior than you for BS reasonings that people need to portray on themselves. This is annoying. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's here.
What?
I was just gonna say it's unfortunately still here to this day that you have people that act like that.
Oh yeah.
Also, I found it strange that Dumbo's mom did not say a word.
She
The
did.
whole movie. All the other words.
Correct. She named him.
Yeah, she named him, and then she sings to him. You talked about.
I didn't pick up that was supposed to be her singing. I was just like, that's just the song they put in there. But I did forget about the name thing. Because the second she named him, it was just like straight out the window, and she never said another word.
It is really strange that she doesn't talk very much.
Like, I don't know.
But they were trying to save money.
But it's almost like she's strong for that.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, I'm not just gonna keep fighting back against these ignorant elephants. Jerks.
I have something here. How did all those elephants stack on that ball and sway all over the place and catching each other by their tails? And
you know, it's two powerful words that sums it up.
And what would
The
those
amazing
words be?
stuff that these people do in the circus, I tell you, right? I went and seen the circus over the weekend, man, and it is just, the stuff that they do.
I need to go to the circus one time.
It's at Lakeside right now. Go.
No, it's actually done.
Oh, well,
Sunday
you
was
missed your
last
chance.
day.
Good job.
Hey.
It's like, it's so funny your timing. I've never
That's
been
what I
to one.
was-
I can go there right now. Nope, gone.
Well, see, that's what I was saying is like, man, you know, I watched it yesterday and it was the last day, and I was when we were leaving, I was like, you know what? I wish today wasn't the last day because I would tell every single person I know that they need to go see this.
I went to a circus one time at the Palace of Auburn Hills, and I don't remember anything about it other than me and my cousin were like, we had a suite, and the suites are separated by railing, so me and her were just jumping over the railings the whole time. That's all I remember.
Bunch of hooligans.
I don't know how we got a suite at the Palace. I never appreciated that as a kid on how lucky that was.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Another weird storyline / plot item is Dumbo being able to blow weird shaped bubbles. That was a little odd.
That was awesome.
Wait, was that where was that?
That was right before Pink Elephants. Because then he starts blowing elephants and...
Yeah. So it led to Pink Elephants.
Yeah, for visuals and animations, I have some stuff to say about that.
Oh.
I also have that Timothy comes to the conclusion that Dumbo can fly incredibly quick.
Yeah, you know, I was like, that's like not where you should have put your thought process.
To be fair, I don't think he came up with that very quick. It was almost like common knowledge at this point. Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, they were both in the tree, right? They were both in the tree. They don't know how they got up there. The crows consistently mock them about flying.
I don't know. I think it is much more logical to think that they somehow climbed the tree than they flew up there.
But he came to the knowledge that elephants can't climb.
Well, they can't fly either.
Well, you
the
know.
movie says otherwise.
Well, also the crows didn't start mocking them about it until after he was like, "That's it, Dumbo, figured it out. You flew up there," and they were like, "An elephant flying? Mm-mm."
No, they did make a comment. They made a comment. Maybe you flew up there.
Oh,
They did
well,
make a
one
comment in
comment. I
advance.
mean, oh, that's it. You had to fly. They said, "Oh, what if you flew?" Oh, that must be it. Oh my gosh, that's 100% what happened. Like that's a leap of faith right there.
Yeah, it
Timothy's
was an
IQ
insane
is
leap.
400.
To be fair, he was right, but it's just like I would not have been like, I'm jumping to that conclusion on 100% known fact. Like,
Yeah.
Yep, that's what happened.
Like,
Yeah,
hear me
let's
out,
jump
hear me
off
out.
this branch off of my theory that this is maybe how we got up here.
So hear me out. I'm gonna just say this right now in advance, Kevin. I love and respect you, but I have to say this. Timothy was a better conscience than Jiminy Cricket.
1000%.
Yes.
Like, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I'm already
but
agreeing with that.
he was
100.
on his side through the whole movie and consistently boosted Dumbo up, and I wasn't expecting that, man. I just wasn't.
Like he was the real one. He was such a good friend.
And he was
Like,
never late.
Yes.
I mean,
He wasn't even supposed to be a conscious. He was just being a good
Yeah, he
friend.
was just being a great friend.
There's Jiminy Cricket. Well, I'm just gonna abandon you now.
I think those
times.
two need to sit down and have a glass or whatever Mouse and Cricket's drink and discuss their companions that they had to look after.
Actually, I think that Blue Fairy needs to be fired from her job because she made poor decisions.
So the last thing I have for storyline is that the last part of the movie, Dumbo got back at everyone by humiliating everyone, and he becomes uber famous to where he gets his own train car with his mom. And if it wasn't for him reconnecting with his mom, I would have went berserk. Like if he wouldn't have done that, I would have been pretty upset.
Are you talking about the ending, or are you
Yeah.
talking about the middle part?
The ending, when
Oh.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I was concerned. I was super concerned about that ending too. I was like, is he gonna? And they was like, we answered it for you. Don't worry about it. Thank you.
You know something kind of weird? I don't remember that being at the ending. For some reason in my brain, my ending for it was when, she's holding him and singing the song. I remember for some reason that being the ending, and I'm like, man, that had a real sad ending to it. So when we were going into this, I'm like, man, it's gonna be a sad ending for me. And then I'm like, wait, this happened now? And then the ending of it happens. I'm like, wait, I thought this was supposed to happen earlier. My brain was all mixed up.
So if you
Brain had a
guys
darker ending.
don't have any other notes, we can move on to characters.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other thing. So yeah, let's go for
My
characters.
first note is that all the baby animals were adorable, especially the baby
Yeah.
bears.
I agree with that.
I loved Casey Jr.'s design.
I don't think I know who Casey Jr. is.
The train. Why the train has a name, I do not know.
Oh my God, the train was the MVP.
Bro, that train is strong, man. That is one strong train because it's conscious.
Sentient ass train.
And it's just carrying everybody.
2 notes on the babies, right? The baby hippo, how he got dropped off sleeping underwater. And then the baby giraffe, he had an extra parachute around his neck.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Very humorous, I would say.
They're looking out on all the angles.
Baby Dumbo is by far one of the cutest Disney characters ever. And I will fight anyone on that.
I have to partially agree. Personality-wise, adorable. Like, big ears, adorable. Eyes, adorable. Snout, nose, adorable. But his head is oddly shaped, and I couldn't stop looking at it. It looked alien to me. But that's a lot of adorables versus one negative.
Also, I mean, all babies have weird shaped heads. I'm just gonna say that.
That
Baby
is true.
bears didn't.
The bears
You know,
did
you're
not.
right. You know, well, we got to see more of Dumbo, to where you could see more of his elephant, weird-shaped head. We only saw the bears for a moment. You know, they didn't get to grow into it a little bit.
As a kid, I remember not understanding why him having big ears made it matter to anyone and why they had to be mean to him. I never understood that as a kid. That's one thing I remembered. I didn't want to mention that in my memories though, because I wanted to mention it here.
It is weird, but it's again that just
they're elephants. They have big ears.
But I guess not as big as that. I mean, his were bigger. Do I think it calls for that? Absolutely not. No, nothing ever calls for, like, you know, mistreatment or bullying or things like that. But those elephants all had this stuck-up hierarchy of we're the best, you know. They always said elephants are the best of all the animals here, basically.
Very snooty.
And
Very snooty and snotty, and it's like, oh, that's an imperfection. We can't accept imperfection. Bully him to no extent. It's like it's a baby.
Yeah, they
could grow into his ears.
They suck, man. They his name was Jumbo Jr. and they were like, nope, we're gonna call him Dumbo because he's dumb. What is that about?
The greatest
So
part
where do you
about
get
it,
the
though,
idea of being dumb? I mean, he's a baby. He just basically got, you know, dropped off there and born, and they're like, what if we just rip into this not even day-old baby? Like, what? Not even 5 minutes in, start roasting the baby.
Terrible.
the greatest part about it, though, is Dumbo did one of the greatest things that he possibly could have done. He took a name that was an insult and made it a legacy.
Yeah, right.
Now who's really laughing? And who's really dumb?
Hey.
That's always a good feeling.
Back
in the face.
At one point, I think it's during his bath scene, he like does a little a trunk blast, and it's the cutest noise ever.
Oh, I love that, like, the bath scene, everything that Dumbo did was synchronized with the music.
Yeah, when he was
very
slapping the
nice.
water, it was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a really cute scene. It was really heartwarming to watch. So enjoyable.
Then I also have that Timothy Q. Mouse has a cool design. I love his little ringmaster suit.
Agreed. That's my boy.
Yeah.
And we've already talked about it, but I have Timothy was completely pure-hearted.
Such a good guy. Also, okay, so this was something I was curious about. I don't think this did, but what started the whole thing of elephants being afraid of mice?
I think it's just the fact that it's funny that something that big would be afraid of something that small. I believe I watched a video about the origin of it before, and that's basically what it boiled down to. Was that
the
people
David
thought
and
it was
Goliath
funny.
cliche.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just doesn't really have a merit, just other than just it'd be funny if it did. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I'm like, wait, would this have started that trend? That idea? Because they did it for comedy, or was there a reason, or what? I was curious.
I think it predates Dumbo.
Okay.
Oh, talking about predating, I did some research for Fantasia, and remember when I asked when did the asteroid theory come about? Because they were talking about a drought killing off the dinosaurs. The asteroid theory came about in the 80s. So when Fantasia was released in 1940, they didn't know about the asteroid theory. So
okay, so that just came later.
Wacky.
Also, I want to give a shout out to the one clown there who actually cared about Dumbo's life. Can I say that?
Oh, absolutely. Love that
when
guy.
like all these guys are being, you know, drunk jerks, being like, yeah, what if we just make him jump off a higher building? Yeah, make him jump off an even higher building. Oh, make it even higher. And then the one clown taking a bath just turns around and goes, hey, you know, take it easy, calm down. Don't want to hurt the poor guy.
Oh.
They're like, hey, he's an elephant. They don't got no feelings. And I'm like, you know what? That one in the bath is the GOAT. He actually cared.
So speaking of the elephants, we have a Joey sighting in this movie. One of them was named Joey. Greatest movie ever.
Oh, one of the clowns or one of the elephants? Which one are you saying?
One of the clowns. All the elephants were females.
Was Joey the good clown?
You know, when you stated that and you said we had an elephant sighting, I was like, wait, what?
I said a Joey sighting,
Joey
not
sighting.
an elephant sighting. Come on now.
Man, I'm working off of. I'm sorry.
I also wanted to mention that I every single time that Timothy started to walk and Dumbo would grab his tail with his trunk. Oh my gosh, Dumbo's the best.
It was a very good way of writing, well, saying that he's still a kid without saying it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Adorable.
They also did a great job making the elephant matriarch look like a grandma. That was like the extra mean one.
Yeah, I will like they did a good job, because I was sitting here, I'm like, okay, old bag. You know, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know for a fact she's old. She just looks very old. So they did sell that very well.
She was rude from the beginning for no reason.
Yep.
Like, you know that the one's expecting a child looking for it, and you're like, oh, I don't care. I'm just gonna be rude and push you up this ramp into the box, even though you're waiting for a child. I don't care. I'm just gonna be rude about it. Then the store comes to deliver the baby, and she's still rude. Like, she's just rude all the way through. Can't have 1 ounce of, like, a nice moment. No, just rude the whole movie.
Well, she was kind when she first saw Dumbo. But
Until
the moment
his ears
Dumbo's
came up.
ears were revealed,
Yeah, the ears.
did a whole 180.
Yeah, she was like, an elephant. We like elephants. That's okay. Be nice for the moment just because an elephant. Wait, imperfection on an elephant? Unbelievable. Now I hate it again.
Yep.
Disgusting.
So going back to the clowns, I meant to say something then. The clowns were actually based off of some of the animators and staff at Disney at the time.
I think I knew that.
That's awesome.
And it is great.
Two of the shadows were actually like caricatures of 2 different employees, and then also the whole scene like was a little poke at the fact that a lot of the staff was in a strike during the making of the film. So going, hit the big boss for a raise and all that. That line and that whole scene was poking fun at that.
That's pretty cool. I like the way they put that into their art.
The last thing I have for characters is that towards the end, Q stood up again for Dumbo when the crows were bullying him. And then the crows were actually the only characters to feel remorse for what they were doing and turned around. So good on them for that.
The crows were pretty good too, cracking jokes at first, then they realized, you know what, that was kind of wrong of us.
Yeah, I have lots of notes on the crows that we'll talk about in the legacy segment.
Also, so there's one moment in the movie with the gorilla. He's going crazy. I think he was trying to put on a show, because when he's like going, basically like ape crazy, basically like he rips the bar off. And he just looks like and I was like, wait, does he just run away now? You're free. And he puts the bar back. I was like, so this was an act. You were putting on a show and you went a little too nuts.
I had that note for the humor section. That's great. That's a great moment.
Oh, there's one other thing I was gonna the other thing was the ringmaster. That man is not smart. Why would you think I have the most brilliant idea? What is it, boss? I'm gonna stack a bunch of elephants on top of each other into a pyramid. It's like, okay, I really don't think we should do that. And he was like, and now I got a better idea. Not only is it going to be a pyramid, but it's going to start with one elephant balancing on a ball, and then every other elephant's going to be stacked on top of it to make the pyramid. Like, what is wrong with you? Someone fire this man, please.
To be fair, his terrible idea did work.
It did work until Dumbo tripped on his ears.
Yep, the little assassin, as she said.
I was like wondering, what was that line? She's just so mean. But she's just like, I'm just gonna keep throwing like these jabs for no reason at a baby. It's a baby still. But no, I was like, man, this ringmaster, I don't know who let him, decide that this was the plan, but this was not the plan.
Well, no one let him. It's his show.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So if no one has anything else, we can jump to visuals and animation.
Yeah.
Yep.
The opening shot of the thunderstorm was awesome. Very beautifully animated. And just right off the get, it was already so much smoother than Fantasia.
I gotta agree with that too, because I will also say I love like the way they were opening the movie, where like all the wacky circus signs and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. Those are a lot of things that can be taken as actual posters in real life.
Hmm. Oh yeah, with the opening credits, you mean?
Yeah, the opening credits being a bunch of different circus signs.
Yep.
That was good. A lot better than Snow White's opening credits. That felt like they were never ending.
And honestly, there was a lot of like pieces that just looked like really, really beautiful to look at. One of them, this might be weird, but I don't know why it sticks out to me a lot, is when the hippos are sleeping, and I'm looking at this, I'm like, literally in the water, that frame, that looks like a painting. That just looks like a straight up painting sitting there, as everything else around it is in a cartoony animation. And I don't know, it just stuck out to me as it just looked really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but the fact of that looking like a water painting in there, in the water, as everything else around it is in an animation, it just looked nice.
Yeah. I loved the animation of the train going over the hills and the bridges as they left the first location. Because I've always loved trains, as did Walt. He was obsessed with trains. I just think that's hilarious that he loved trains so much that he didn't care what the house looked like. He just cared what his train would look like.
He has his priorities on straight.
Maybe
like,
that's
well, if
why
I can't have a train in my yard, I'm gonna have a train in my movie.
Maybe that's why Casey Jr. was a character. They gave the train a personality.
Yeah, you know what? It could be.
The way Mrs. Jumbo swaddled Dumbo in his ears, that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cute, and it looked so comfy too. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, dang, I wish my ears actually kept growing now, so I could be, wrapped up in my own ears and just sleep comfortable.
That does not sound like the mistake.
What are you talking about? That is so comfy. It was like, did you see how comfy Dumbo was? He was like, oh, I'm all snuggled up and ready. And I'm like, dang, I wish I could get snuggled up and ready to sleep.
Oh boy. So moving on from that, the animation...
It was adorable. It was really adorable, the scene, on a real note. It was just cute. Just watch. They were so cute.
It sure was. The animation when they were setting up the tent with the rain and the rain bouncing off of all of them, that was good stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And then DeQuandrick mentioning the bath, that was very, very good animation with the matching of the score and him swimming in the water and all the bubbles.
Adorable little elephant.
And it was actually, like watching a kid take a bath, just playing around, having fun.
Oh yeah.
Just splashing and stuff. I don't know. It was just, this is cute. It's so adorable.
I do have a bone to pick though. It seemed like halfway through the movie it stopped because I didn't notice it after I made this note, but they cut to black often at the start and it was like aggressive too. And it felt like they picked bad timing to fade to black as well. Like it was like a snap cut to black and it was just so aggressive. I thought the transition between scenes was bad at the first half of the movie.
That might have just been because they were trying to maybe hit a bunch of different, points in the movie. Like, we just need a way to transition to it, and they were just like, we'll just keep doing the fade to black.
Yeah.
That also might have been, I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but maybe a cheaper option of how to transition it very smoothly.
I guess
since
also
it was a lower budget movie.
If they were trying to make it shorter, I guess that could have been the result of them cutting stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Being like, we can't have all this stuff, so we just need to make certain scenes important. Like the tiger sleeping. I'm sorry, they showed up like 5 times, and I'm like, well, okay, when the tiger's gonna do something? Oh, they're still sleeping. And still sleeping.
At one point when Timothy goes into the tent to speak into the ringmaster's ears, and they show his shadow on the wall looking super menacing, that was great. And then the way he disguises himself in the sheets, that was good stuff too.
It was. I was wondering if there was supposed to be some kind of meaning, but I couldn't figure anything out with like the shadow being like that. I thought he was going to be talking with the shadow. do the, oh, he's gonna wake up and see the shadow talking to him. The shadow's gonna tell him. He's like, oh, okay, I'll do what you say. Don't hurt me. He's like, I won't if you make Dumbo the star. He's like, okay, Dumbo's the star.
Yeah, it seems like that's gonna be the way it goes, but then he just goes to his ear and starts whispering.
Also, now that makes me wonder. So, could he technically hear all the animals talk?
That is because at the end they say that Timothy Q. Mouse is Dumbo's agent, so that has to mean that people can understand him. So I guess the people can understand the animals in this universe, but I don't know.
Because Timothy, because he's beyond just a normal animal. He's a god.
Makes sense. He is also the only one wearing clothes. Well, no, Mrs. Jumbo has like a bonnet on.
And then Dumbo has like a little hat.
Yeah.
Because if they can understand animals, I mean, all Dumbo's mom had to do is be like, hey, they were messing with my son.
True.
I don't know, it was just something I was like, wait, so he can understand the mouse. Wait, how does this work now? My brain started going crazy with trying to make sense. Don't say it.
Disney magic?
No, don't. I said don't. I thought Kevin was going to be the one to say it.
I also loved the utter destruction of the circus. That was when they were on the ball and Dumbo messed everything up.
Yeah.
That was great animation. And now we get to the coup de grace here. Pink Elephants was wacky. I feel like the animators were on, or were like, let's take some shrooms and see what happens.
It is a very strange part of the movie. And
I'm just saying this. They were also drinking some alcoholic beverages when they did them, convinced.
They also, they did the same thing they had Dumbo do. Like, wait, what if we're like Dumbo, man? And then they started drawing Dumbo, drinking that spiked water, basically. And they were like, yeah, man, now Dumbo's like us, man. And now we're all drunk together. And what if we started seeing crazy stuff?
Don't get me wrong, I love that scene. It's just wacky.
It is, and honestly, it has a weird placement in the movie. Like, nothing really comes out of that happening. It's very enjoyable, right? But it doesn't really do anything afterwards.
Well, it gets them to get blacked out drunk, and they end up in the tree.
Such a great scene. Did you know that that scene is actually sometimes replaced with a scene of Dumbo dreaming of flying because of how controversial it is?
Really?
I was also thinking that I was surprised that there wasn't a warning about the flashing lights in that scene, because at one point it's just chaos and the lights are flashing like crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they really cared about epilepsy back then.
Well, they do now. And there's no warning still.
No, then though. Oh yeah, they could add it now because they have in that warning now in the beginning of those.
Yeah.
Flashing lights, air, whatever.
Like that Pokemon episode that got banned in, was it Japan that it got banned in because it sent thousands of kids to the hospital?
Jeez.
I think it got banned all over because you cannot find that episode really.
I don't even remember it. Doesn't Pikachu just zap a bunch of people?
No, it has to deal with the Pokemon Polygon.
Oh, Polygon. That was Integral.
Yeah, because it was the weird looking Pokemon that's literally polygons. And he started doing some attack or someone was flashing all over the place. Literally like strobe lights.
Yeah. But anyways, the last note I have for visuals and animation is I absolutely love that at the end of his flight, Dumbo lands on the power lines like a bird.
I forgot I wanted to look something up.
What?
Because, okay, so birds can land on power lines because they have, there's something with, their feet or talons, whatever you want to call them, that it can't conduct the electricity. Am I right on that?
No. They can land on it because there's nothing, they're not anchored to the ground. Everything's going through the wood, which wood is a terrible conductor of electricity, so if they were to touch anything while being on the power lines, then they would get zapped.
It would be fried chicken.
So
But
that's
if
why
they're
then...
just touching the cord, they're fine.
Okay, so then that's why. Because I'm like, wait, so people can't touch electrical cords because we're
You
connected
can,
electricity.
as long as you're not touching anything else. Like if you jump and grab it, you're good. But if you're on the ground and grab it, you're dead.
Well, I've never really seen anyone like hang from it like that. I just remember from like movies and shows where
Right.
the second they touch it, they start getting electrocuted,
Well,
and then the birds and squirrels on it are fine. And I'm like, okay, so when that cancels out my question. Then
yeah.
never
So
mind.
if you ever see a bird or a squirrel accidentally touch the pole while touching the thing, you'll see them get fried.
Well, I don't ever want to see that, so I'm not gonna be looking for it to happen.
So if no one has anything else for visual/animation, we can move on to music/soundtrack.
Nope.
All right. First thing I have is Casey Jr. coming down the track has some kind of energy that tickles me in the right way, and I love it. I don't know why, but it's been stuck in my head ever since watching it, and I just love it. Just the way the tune is and the simple lyrics, it's great.
For soundtrack, I'm gonna be honest, neutral. Absolutely neutral. Nothing stood out to me. Neutral.
There's really only one song that really stands out, and it's the very trippy scene. I mean, the music in it's good. Oh no, and I gotta take that back. I have an emotional attachment to one, so
Yeah. So then the next song we hear is the Rustabouts, and that had a decent ring to it. And that's when they're putting up the tents. And like DeQuandrick mentioned, they did a great job implementing the score and the sound effects in the movie, like with the actions. And then to get to what Mike is talking about, Baby Mine is a real tearjerker, and it gets my wife every time.
Yeah, it was actually nominated for an Oscar too.
Yes, I have that note for Legacy.
Better of one or else.
What? I don't think it did.
No, it didn't.
No.
It lost out to The Last Time I Saw Paris from Lady Be Good.
Never heard of
I don't even know what that is. That's garbage.
It did win the Academy Award for Best Score.
Yes. I also have that note for Legacy.
Well, it's in music now.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, well, that is completely fine. Mike, did you want to talk about Baby Mine more?
I mean, I don't really have a lot of... I kind of remember, being sung that song a lot, but if I were to just, I can't pull out any specific moments, just... Yeah. I just remember hearing it a lot as a kid, and for the longest time, I forgot it was even part of Dumbo. I thought my mom had made the song up.
Nice.
And then she was like, I got it from Dumbo. I was like, oh, wait, oh. And that's when I started thinking, wow, that movie has a really sad ending, because that's the ending of the movie, which was wrong as well.
Yeah,
I was actually always scared to go back and watch it, because I was like, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry if I watch this movie again. That's a sad ending. I'm not doing that to myself yet.
A lot of people use that song as a lullaby for their babies. My aunt did with her 2 kids. My wife planned on using it for my son, but she didn't. I don't know why. Maybe she forgot. I don't know. But a lot of people use it because it's a beautiful song.
Yeah, it's actually become one of Disney's best remembered and regarded songs, and the American Film Institute put it on their list of 100 best film songs.
It deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last song is Pink Elephant. Well, no, there is another song, but I'm saving that for Legacy. But Pink Elephants, it's a weird song. It's not great, but I like it a lot.
Oh, see, I think it is great. I really like it. I don't know. I was like bobbing my head with. I'm like, this is what they, this is a banger right here. Yeah, I like this. This is good.
I don't know if I would classify
it is
anything
very
in this
strange
movie as a banger.
No, man, that's a banger. Like that. That's good. I should not have snapped. That was
a lot of people actually like that one because it was covered by several different artists.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
That's all I have for music.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of other tracks in there, to be honest, that I can think of. There is music that plays, and it's like, you know, it's just enjoyable background music.
Yep.
It doesn't really stand out. It's just like, yeah, it's good. You know, it's in the background.
So here is a shocker. This is the first time that we can probably have a decently long discussion about emotional impact. I mean, Pinocchio did, but not like this movie.
Oh,
Mrs.
man.
Jumbo was so heartbroken right at the very beginning when she didn't get a baby from the stork. It just catches you right in the feels immediately.
Hey, yep.
And then, like we've talked about, the other elephants were so mean to Dumbo. They called him an assassin, like DeQuandrick mentioned. They disowned him as an elephant. They put him in clown makeup. Well, that wasn't the elephants, that was the clowns. And they put him on top of a burning building with real fire. And then the clowns were just playing around while he was panicking because he was surrounded by fire.
All right.
And they just smacked him off, so there you go.
Yeah.
Get off.
Yeah, I restarted this movie because I was gonna finish watching the last little bit earlier today, and so I restarted it and put it on while I was making dinner. And my kid, I go out there and she's almost in tears because of how mean everybody was to Dumbo. And she's like, Dad, we need to turn it off or I'm gonna cry.
That's so cute, but
So
sad.
adorable.
No.
So with that said, ever since becoming a dad, I cry so much more now. I'm much more sensitive to things, and I don't understand why. But I'm going to put myself on Cry Watch to see if a movie makes me cry. And I know there's one later on that does, and I was not expecting this movie to do it, but it did. I'm just going to say it. Luca. Luca made me cry the other day. What is that about?
Luca?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I haven't watched it though.
The bond when Alberto comes to save Luca, even though they just got in a huge fight and they turned their backs on each other, I couldn't handle it.
Just got you right in the feels, huh?
But so I'm going to have a cry watch to see what movies make me cry, and the first 4 have not yet. So
Wait, I thought you said
I don't know.
Dumbo did.
what?
I thought you said Dumbo did make you cry.
It did not. It gets me in the feels, but it doesn't make me cry.
Oh, okay. So when you said it did, you were talking about Luca then. I
Luca,
thought you were saying
yes.
both Luca and Dumbo made you cry.
Luca.
Okay.
But we're a long ways away from Luca.
Oh yeah.
I almost teared up in the movie. You know, as soon as that scene comes on, I start kind of reminiscing a little bit with my childhood with that song. So it was kind of like I could feel it, and it didn't though. I was surprised. I was like, huh. Guess I'm all cried out right now. But no, I mean, it's very emotional and very sad.
And then obviously the most heartbreaking scene of the movie is Mrs. Jumbo trying to see her baby, but she can't. So she just feels around for him, grabs him, and starts swinging him and singing the most iconic song.
Actually, that was the worst part to me is she sees her son there and she goes to try to reach up, but because of those dang chains, it stops. I was like, pain. No. You mentioning it was like painful, man.
Yeah.
I think the most painful scene for me was Dumbo getting a reality check that no one's gonna love you as much as your mother will. When he thought that since they're elephants like me, they'll treat me kindly, and they decided to quite literally give him the cold shoulder and ignore him.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's all messed up too, because they were almost literally gonna be like, no, you can't eat. They were like willing to make this baby starve because they didn't like him. Like, that's so messed up, man.
Yeah, they refused to view him as an elephant anymore.
Yeah, they're the worst. But to turn to a little bit of a positive note, Timothy Q. Mouse always tried to turn everything into a positive because he was a great friend.
Agreed.
No matter what
Liz.
happened, he tried to see the positive of it.
What does the Q stand for?
Timothy Q. Mouse.
What does the Q stand for?
Q. Oh, his name.
Stands
Yeah.
for don't question his name.
Let's look it up.
Don't question his name.
information I'm curious about.
Quincy. That's just my
No.
guess.
That would be a pretty good middle name.
That's what I'm saying.
I like
That is
that.
pretty cool. I feel like it's not gonna stand for anything.
Let's see.
Like it's just gonna be a Q.
Watch as it's Q, as in the word Q.
There's a oh yeah, there is. I was about to say there's a word Q. Question mark? Wait, how do you spell that? But I know now.
There's nothing on it, so I think it's just a Q.
Fair
It's just
enough.
to make him cool, which
Fair
he
enough.
is. He is so cool. He is like he's just that positive influence everyone
That's
needs in their
cool,
life.
Q.
Everyone needs a friend like Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
So go find a mouse, put him in a little outfit, and then call him Timmy.
And take his advice.
Exactly. Just let him lift you up. You know, if you ever feel down, Timmy will always lift you up.
Beautiful. So with that, we'll move on to message and theme. The message of the movie was, I would say that it is, don't let your flaws be flaws. Let them be your strengths.
Also, don't let others bring you down. You have amazing qualities about you that you will find and discover on your own that will lift you up
Yep.
and make you be able to stand out as your own unique self. Don't try to fit in with jerks.
There's
Exactly.
also a small theme of don't drink, but they make it look pretty fun, so I guess that
I don't know, bro.
I
I don't know. I learned that drinking helps you fly. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
it might have
I
backfired
started
a little
sticking
bit
my
there.
head in random
Drink
buckets
water.
of water,
Yeah,
Yes,
drink
drink
more
water.
water.
hoping that I get that sparkle juice.
Boy had a little bit of the
Just kidding.
bubbly.
So with that, we'll move on to humor. Like we've talked about, the Mr. Stork being late and needing to look at the map was great, and his sense of humor. And then the best part about him is him giving Mrs. Jumbo a few options for his like drop-off message.
I'm just saying, y'all said he was late. He was still within the 5-minute latency period.
Wait,
I don't
hold
know
up.
about
They
5
were
minutes.
delivering at night. That man came at day. That is more than 5 minutes, my friend.
Almost start time, bro.
That's almost. It is at least, I'm gonna say 4 to 6 hours.
So then we get the a gag with Casey Jr. doing I think I can, I think I can. And then when he reaches the top and starts going down, he goes, I thought I could, I thought I could. It's good stuff. And then even though the elephants were bullies, when they were bullies to each other, it was funny.
Yeah.
That's all, that was a
No
fair game.
bullying is funny.
I mean, when it's between friends.
That it's not bullying. That was just joking. Wait, where's the line?
They were
It's
poking
there
fun
somewhere.
with each other, you know, just cracking little jokes amongst each other. They were straight up bullied Dumbo though.
Yes.
That's not okay.
Not okay.
Especially when you're a grown adult picking on a child. Like, what's wrong with you?
What
be
is
better
wrong
than
with
that.
you? DeQuandrick,
Yeah.
when you were asking what does the Q stand for, I was confused because I abbreviated Timothy Q Mouse as Q in my notes, so I thought you were asking me what the Q stood for in my notes.
Oh. No, I'm eating a frosty right now, bro. I'm not even looking at notes.
That's fantastic. Another funny part was when Q says, "Let me see you wave that flag," and then Dumbo starts waving it, and then he says, "All right, I see you waving it."
I did.
I see, baby, I see.
I did love that. I'm like, bro, you told me to do it. Don't stop me now that I'm into it.
See, you gotta save it for the big act, you know?
Yeah, and then the gag of the clowns getting out of their costumes. I don't know how they came up with all those different ways of them getting out of their costumes in a funny way,
Yeah.
but it worked.
The two people in the one suit, the one guy who had a balloon suit. think one guy was on stilt, like something that made him taller, maybe. There's a lot of different ways.
Oh yeah. So that's
And it was all just done with silhouettes too.
Yep. Probably to save money.
I love the silhouette gimmick. So many like movies have done it, and I know this might be a slight sidebar, but another movie that did that was Austin Powers.
I was gonna bring that up.
I love the silhouette gimmick.
Yeah, and don't apologize for
so many
sidebars. Have you
creative
heard
ways.
some of the sidebars I went on?
There's a lot of ways to do, the silhouette thing. You can do it in comedy ways, but you can also do it in really serious ways or like really cool ways. There's a game that does a really cool silhouette shot, which was I think it was the second God of War. It has a really cool silhouette shot. I'm not gonna say what happens, but it's really cool, and it just like, I don't know, like he said, the silhouette thing is really cool, and you can do it in multiple ways.
Oh yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind is obviously Austin Powers, but then second is a bit obscure, an obscure pull. The Hannah Montana show, when her Mima and Dolly Parton are fighting backstage, and then she starts fighting them, and everyone can see their silhouettes on the stage. It's great stuff.
That's great.
Did that also happen in Freaky Friday?
I don't know. That's a great movie though.
Also, a lot of like traditional like samurai movies have done that too, and it's just really cool to watch. They're always behind like the little like bamboo wall type doors that you can just see through,
like
and they're just
paper
all
doors.
doing the cool samurai sword fighting.
Yeah.
Or even sometimes martial arts. It's really cool. Scenes are always fun to watch. Silhouette scenes are cool.
So that's all I have
That's just
for
the premise of it. They're just really cool, and you can do them multiple different ways. It doesn't just fit the one category.
Oh yeah. So that's all I have for humor. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything because I already mentioned about the gorilla.
Oh yeah.
Just ripping off the bar and be like, "Oops,
That's
I
great.
broke it. I put it back down."
So as for world building, obviously the circus, it's a pretty small movie, even though they're traveling. It's a little odd like that, but I love when they animated the view from the sky and it's the map.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
And the fact that it takes place in Florida, decades before Florida is massively important to the Disney company.
Yeah, this is actually one of the few Disney films to actually be set in America.
Right.
Wait, what? It is? Wait, no, you're right. Sorry. My brain lagged. No, you are right. I was looking at the map, and like I thought it was originally spelling a word, because the way they have it lined up, I'm like, no, those just like acronyms. But go on.
That's all I got for world building. So if you guys don't have anything, we can go on to legacy.
Nope.
Cool.
Nah,
I got nothing.
Anything on world
So
building.
the legacy is tainted again, like the last one. This one I think is a bit more tainted. There's a disclaimer at the start of the movie. Obviously, circuses are, like I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned that before we started record. No, it had to. Whatever. Circuses using live animals is not seen too fondly lately. So very heavy on animal cruelty, but like you guys said, it's not very much in this movie.
It doesn't really show it. It's more or less like if you think on real world actions, how a lot of those animals were mistreated in circuses.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say all of them were, but a good majority, handful, were mistreated, and
yeah.
it really is unfortunate. But this movie doesn't portray that at all. So it's just what you would take from the real world to it.
Yeah. So then we get the clowns getting sloshed, and then Dumbo and Timothy getting sloshed and tripping way too hard. And then it's the big one. The crows are all based on southern black men with very thick accents.
That one I knew about a long time ago.
The main crow's name is Jim Crow, And a lot of people don't like that and claim racism, but Jim Crow laws weren't a thing when Dumbo was made. That was just a horrendously bad coincidence. But they are still subject to controversy even if you take the name issue away. I personally never thought they were too bad. I thought the characters were mildly funny, and I liked their song, and I didn't think they were overly offensive. Until I recently found out that Jim was voiced by a white actor. And the use of a white actor using stereotypical exaggerated voices is not a good thing. So that they've got a lot of backlash for that, and that's why there's a good disclaimer at the start.
Ah.
I'm missing one of my notes.
I mean, the Crows, honestly, they're some of my favorite because they actually are like, you know, they're not terrible people, you know, they're portrayed as, they crack jokes, but when they realize, oh, they were actually, you know, they were hurting his feelings, they're like, oh, you know, unlike the elephants, they actually cared.
Yeah, and
the elephants are jerks through and through.
Yeah, because it's weird because I, like you, I thought they were mildly entertaining, but it's hard for me to judge them as being a white man. I don't know how them being portrayed that way affects who they were supposed to be portraying.
I don't think they were negatively too bad. I would just say some of the stereotypes were a bit over the top, just a tad bit, but nothing like necessarily offensive.
Right.
Like enough to warrant damaging a legacy of this movie. Could they have toned it down? Yes. But is it necessary? No.
It was also more of an opportunity thing because they're meant to represent African Americans.
Right.
You know, other than the one main Crow, all the rest of them are African American actors. And, you know, this is a time when African Americans didn't have, you know, potential for any kind of casting.
Right.
You know, so yeah, it was, you know, a little bit of something, but, you know, it was a lot more than any other studios or companies were doing at the time.
Yeah, so some people like to claim that since there were black actors voicing them, that it's okay. But like you said, they didn't have options back then.
All right.
So they had to take whatever was available to them, and stereotyped characters were their only options. So it's just a messy situation.
It really is, because I'm not, like, you know, having to do, you know, stereotypical stuff it's not okay, but it also is an animated movie where they're I don't know if they were supposed to, you know, have comedy, but animated movies generally have, like, type of silly bits, comedy, and exaggerated stuff a lot through it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
that all the
kind of
characters
matches to
are
it, but I
over
can
the
understand.
top.
Yeah, I can understand it being like, this is, you know, this doesn't make me feel good in a way when someone watches it.
Yes.
I can definitely understand it, and I wouldn't even be like, no, you shouldn't feel that way at all, because, you know, valid feelings.
But like I said, as a white man, it's not really my place to say what is offensive to a different race and what isn't. It's messy. We have a dark history in this country. But they were also smoking, not good for legacy.
Yeah.
And then the same
constantly.
And then the same thing as Pinocchio, the most remembered thing for this movie is a flying elephant, and he doesn't actually fly until there's 3 minutes left in the movie.
You know something that also is jarring? Like, this entire time I was watching the movie, I'm like, I could have sworn Dumbo spoke. But he doesn't.
He does not, because he's a baby.
I'm trying to remember why did I hear Dumbo speak in my past?
Why did I forget that the mom says, like, the line of calling
when you
him
just
Jumbo Jr.?
You just watched it.
I watched it, and then at the end of it, I was like, huh, that's really interesting. The mom never said a word. What else did? It's like she had one line, which was just to, say his name, and then I'd never put together that she was actually supposed to be singing the song. I thought it was like, she's caring for it, and then they played the song in the background.
Yeah,
Does that makes
sense.
Yeah. Dumbo is actually the only lead character in a Disney movie to never speak.
Nice.
The silent protagonist.
And also, Dumbo was set to be named Time Magazine's Mammal of the Year.
Interesting.
And be on the front cover in place of, like, the Person of the Year.
Really?
And that was actually set to go forth until Pearl Harbor happened.
Yikes.
Yep. And then Dumbo was also Walt Disney's favorite movie and John Lasseter's favorite movie.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I have a Funko Pop of Walt Disney holding a plush of Dumbo and Timothy Q. Mouse. It's one of my favorite Funko Pops.
Timothy!
And like Kevin said before, it won the Academy Award for Best Original Score, and Baby Mine was nominated for Best Original Song. And it got a live-action remake, which also tying to DeQuandrick saying he doesn't remember Dumbo not talking. After I saw the live-action remake, I was like, why did they make him not talk? And then come to find out, he didn't talk in the original.
Perfect, as it should be.
And that is the oldest movie, the oldest Disney movie to get a live-action remake.
Nice.
Well, up until Pinocchio, no.
True. I forgot about Pinocchio. Even though I talked about how much I liked that movie.
Well, to be fair, that one also did recently
it just came out this year.
One last note here, going off the John Lasseter's favorite movie. Actually, when he became chief creative officer of Walt Disney and Pixar Studios in 2006, he canceled all plans for Dumbo 2. So before he became chief creative officer, there were plans for it.
If I'm not mistaken, though, it was going to be one of those direct-to-DVD terrible remakes or terrible sequels. So
I do believe so, but yeah, he shut it down immediately.
Smart man.
Honestly, better that way. This is good, just how it is. Don't do anything more. You already made the mistake of making a live-action remake.
We almost...
Or
well, this was a
CGI
long time ago. That happened way before the live-action remake.
I know. I'm saying now. Don't go back and think you can make a sequel.
But speaking
they
of...
made the mistake of making the live-action remake.
Speaking of new CEOs canceling stuff, I don't remember the man's name, but he was like the head of creative at Disney for a while when they weren't doing so good in the early 2000s. And when he got fired, they almost canceled one of the greatest movies of all time, and I'm so glad that they didn't. Because it was like his baby, and that was a Goofy movie.
Ooh.
That would have been
That
bad.
would have been the worst timeline.
That's a bad timeline. There's one timeline out there that doesn't have that movie, and it's the worst timeline for it.
So that means that we can move on to overall enjoyment, and I like it. I know you guys all said that you weren't going to like it and that you didn't like it, but I like this movie.
I'll be honest, I was so confident I wasn't gonna like this movie. I love this movie.
I had a feeling you were gonna change your mind. When I was sitting there watching, I'm like, there's no way he's gonna hate this movie.
I really didn't think I would like this movie because, like, as a kid, all the way up until 2 hours ago, I did not like Dumbo.
You were just like those elephants.
Yeah, fun fact.
But God, I love this movie. I love this character.
Fun fact. We recorded at 8. We were supposed to start recording at 8:30 today, and DeQuandrick started watching the movie at like 7:30.
And man, like he said, since Wednesday when we recorded the last one, he's not had a break. He's not had a moment of peace.
Right.
Mike and Kevin, overall enjoyment. What do you guys? You like it? You don't like it?
I loved it.
Ah,
It was very good. I liked it a lot.
did Kevin have a change of heart?
No, man, it didn't get good until the last 20, maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes. Before that, it's just all depression,
Right.
all like negative, and I don't vibe with that.
Oh man,
I cannot get behind it.
But that's so good. You just get lost and enveloped in it. Let it overcome you.
Do it like they did Up, right? Do it like they did Up. Get the sad stuff, do the sad stuff right, and get it out the way.
Man,
You
I
know,
have
Give it 5-10
opinions.
minutes, you're done.
I have opinions on Up that I can't wait to talk about.
Oh man. But no, this movie was like the reverse of Up, right? They spent 45 minutes just on the negativity and the depression, right? And then the last 15 minutes, like, hey, it's all good though.
So now we got to do our ratings. The Quandric, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Storyline,
Storyline, a 7.
characters.
10.
Whoa, animation,
8.
music,
5. It was average for me.
emotion,
Oh, that was a 10. I actually felt things.
message,
8.
8,
8.
humor,
Humor, 7.
world building,
It's not a lot of world building, to be honest. That's like a 3.
sorry, legacy.
Legacy, we discussed the situation with it. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, Legacy is like a 5.
Right. And general enjoyment.
Oh, that was a 10. I did not expect to enjoy this movie.
And Mr. Dequan, sir, your final score is a 73.
Is that my highest?
No.
No, it's not.
Pinocchio.
You still like Pinocchio more.
Pinocchio is an 85.
Still like Pinocchio the best.
No way. No way. Hey, man, that really counts.
I'll re-listen to the episode, but I'm telling you, it's an 85.
Oh, man, that's insane.
You loved that movie.
That's insane.
All right, Kevin, how about you?
I'm not proud, all right?
We're about to get a strong 40%.
I'm gonna say at least above 50. Not exactly 60, but above 50.
All right. Storyline plot, 4.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oof.
Characters, 6.
Ooh.
Visuals, animation, 6.
Ooh.
Music soundtrack, 4.
Fair.
Emotional impact, 8. Yeah, it was emotional, but not in a good way. Message theme, 5.
Fair. I had to think on that too.
Humor, 3. World building, 3.
I agree.
Legacy, 5.
Fair.
Overall enjoyment, 4.
Oh my
Yikes.
lord, a 48?
I was in the 40s.
Oh, you were right.
Wow, you were so close. You said no less than 50.
He has turned his back.
No, I was saying above 50. Like, it was gonna be above 50, but not 60. Like, not in the 60s, but above 50. You were right.
All right, Mike.
Okay. Storyline's gonna get an 8 from me. Characters, I'm gonna give You know, I'm gonna give a 9. I wanted to give a 10, but I just can't stand those elephants.
Right.
I want to smack them all. Be like, straighten up. What's wrong with you? Animation, I'm gonna give it an 8. Music, I'm gonna give it a 7. I generally enjoy the two. Emotion, 10. Don't at me. Message, I'm gonna give it a 7, I think. Yeah. Wait, 8. 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. Humor, I'm gonna give it a 6. It's not humor. World, I'm gonna give a 4. Legacy, I'll give a 5 as well. In general enjoyment, a 10.
Oops. 75.
How dare you 5 up you?
I 2 up to you.
Oh, well, 73?
Yeah, 73.
Oh, I thought it was 70.
All right, well, I can say that I am going to lose my streak of being the most cynical.
No, you lost it.
Because storyline, I'll give a 6. Characters, I gave a 6. Because I think, DeQuandrick, you're thinking of how good the good characters are, but the bad characters are bad.
Oh, no, that's the reason why I gave it a 10. They were so bad. They did their job.
Animation, 7. Music, 6. Emotion, 8. Message, 6. Humor, 6. World building, 6. Oh, sorry, 5. Just got on a 6 train there. Legacy, I gave a 4. And general enjoyment, I gave a 7, with a grand total of 61. And a show rating of a show rating of 64.25, making it the second best movie on our list.
So I wanna explain something really quick. The reason I gave the characters a 10 is because if a character can make me feel a high level of negativity or positivity, they're done right. If I feel nothing from the character, they're done poorly. So I hated those elephants enough, and they did their job. They wanted us to dislike the elephants.
Here, I'll give them a 7 for that for you.
You know, you're making me want to bump it back up to a 10 like I was originally. Well, no, because here's the thing, right? I completely agree. Those elephants are literally just like
all right, we're
the
throwing
worst,
out numbers.
Right?
Kevin, you want to bump up your numbers?
I want to. Nope. like they do their job perfectly. I gave it a 9 at first because I was like, man, they're just jerks. But it's like, they are doing their job, and they made me hate them. And that's why I gave them 9, but I was like, you know, I'm just going to go 10. That was original
thought. My score changed to a 62, and Mike, yours changed to a 76 for a show rating of 64.75.
Wait, I need to get 2 more points so I can 5 up Dino.
No.
Let's see here. So now we got the Bell's fan fiction section. I found this today, and it suggests that Mr. Stork delivered baby Dumbo to the wrong mother. He was running late because he was lost, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that he would have gone to the wrong place. And if you notice, his ears are big, and the rest of the elephants are small, and their ears resemble an Asian elephant, where Dumbo's with bigger ears resembles the African elephant. So the theory goes out to say that he was delivered to the wrong mother.
I like that.
I like that theory due to the fact that Dumbo seems like a magical elephant. Because, like you said, he's able to blow random shapes and sizes of bubbles, and he's able to fly with, abnormal ears. That seems like a magical creature, not just your typical elephant.
What does that have to do with him being delivered to the wrong mother?
What does that have to do with him being an African elephant?
Okay, so what does that have to do with him being delivered to the wrong mother? Why would you deliver a magical elephant to a normal elephant? That's what has to do with it.
When did he become magical?
When he knew how to blow magical shaped bubbles and fly. You don't see the other elephants flying, do you?
Because they got little ears.
Exactly.
My point exactly.
I like that theory. It's good. My only complaint, he calls out her name exactly, and unless the
Yeah, he's
theory
got the
is stating
contract.
that they have the same exact name,
Oh. Like
Yeah.
the
There's-
breaker.
I really like.
there's that.
But
Yeah.
hold on though, isn't Jumbo like hello in like African
Miss
or
Jumbo.
something?
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Unless he's saying Miss Hello. Is there a Miss Hello here?
I mean, you know.
Because if it's just if it's a greeting and not a name, you wouldn't say, you know, unless he's looking for the most generic. I'm looking for a Miss. Hello, is there a Miss here?
Could be. Lost in translation.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mike. And the fact
You know, that just
if-
makes me not like. That makes me think he's doing a bad job too. What's with
Yeah.
these people not doing their dang jobs right?
and then if you think this is canon, then it really takes away some of the emotion of like Baby Mine and whatnot. So I'm gonna say this is not hit canon for me.
Wait, why does it take
I-
away from the
yeah,
emotion?
no.
Because it doesn't
That
matter if
doesn't
it's
make
her
sense.
kid or not. She loves this kid as if it was her own.
That's a fair
Exactly.
point.
Whether it is
That's
or
a fair
isn't.
point.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna
saying
disagree with
stuff
you on
that's
that
gonna
one,
get me
Joey.
canceled this episode. I didn't like Up. I said bullying was fun.
If anything, actually, I think that makes it even more, you know, emotional because it's like even if it wasn't mine, I'm still caring for it like it is. It makes it
Joey
even
doesn't like
more.
orphans.
Yes.
Well, wait. Timothy called him an orphan at one point. He's a poor orphan.
Well, because he lost his mother, she got locked in the clink.
That's sad.
I apologize to all victims of bullying and all the orphans.
I'm gonna say for me personally that it's not headcanon either, just because he directly calls out her name.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I would actually agree with it. I'd be like, that's actually kind of cool.
How about you two?
I wouldn't consider it sound theory. It's not sound at all.
Hmm. Well, there
But
we
I
go.
like it.
There we go. Another theory of mine getting shot down. one for 4, and the one is Mike's.
We
So
got
now-
one so far. The
we
other
are-
ones just have little loopholes.
We are on to joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust, favorites and frustrations. What is your favorite and least favorite moment of the movie?
Favorite moment of the movie. Honestly, any part where, Timothy's there. But okay, biases aside, my favorite part of the movie was Dumbo flying in and landing in his mom's, snout.
Oh, right at
That
the
was
end.
beautiful. Yes, right at the end was beautiful.
What about
Good
least
hug.
favorite?
My least favorite part of the movie was the elephants quite literally saying, "Hey, you're gonna starve. We don't care about you."
Right.
I didn't like that at all.
Mr. Kevin.
Favorite part is pink elephants.
Hmm.
And least favorite, other than the first 40 minutes, would be more specifically the kid that's
Oh, yeah,
picking
he
up
sucked.
Dumbo and pulling him out by his tail, and then what follows after that scene with her getting locked up and stuff just for protecting her kid because other people can't take care of their own kids.
Right. Mike.
There's so many good scenes in this movie. There's a lot, and I like a lot of scenes. But if I'm gonna pick one, because I wish we could have got it with Dumbo, but we didn't, was Timothy putting them elephants in their place. Coming up them and scaring them for picking on a baby and being mean to a baby. They deserved it. And that was like satisfying. Comeuppance. And least favorite actually probably would be the same as Kevin's. That scene's just upsetting. And I'm like, again, why is no one stopping this kid from just being all up on this animal's face like that? Like, back off, kid. That kid
Right.
had everything coming to him.
For me, favorite part is anytime Dumbo held Timothy's tail to walk.
It's so cute.
And least favorite is something that I could do without in the movie. Because you need the kid to get Jumbo locked up to have that big emotional story. Oh man. Oh man, it's tough. I guess I'll just say the matriarch disowning him as an elephant.
Yeah, they're bad peoples.
Favorite and least favorite song.
Nothing. I don't have a favorite. I don't have a least favorite.
All right, Kevin.
I mean, yeah, my favorite obviously is gonna be "Baby Mine." The least favorite, I mean, there wasn't too much to choose from there.
Right.
So I'm just gonna pass on the least favorite.
All right, Mike.
Look, man, you're asking me to pick between emotion and head bopping over here, and that is just a horrible thing to make me have to choose between. So I'm gonna give it to my emotions and give it to "Baby of Mine." Yeah. But I don't have a least favorite because the other one, I generally like that song a lot.
Right.
And then there wasn't really any other song that stood out that's like, oh, I didn't care for this.
Yeah.
So first time I don't have a least favorite.
So I'll say I'm going to go off the walls with my favorite, and I'm going to say Casey Jr. coming down the track. I don't know what it is about that song, but I love it. And least favorite, just because I like ranking things, I'll have to say the roastabouts. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. When they're putting the tent up.
Oh, okay.
Favorite and least favorite character, Dequan.
Favorite character, let's be honest. Come on now. No, least favorite character, this may be a shocker to you all, was the stupid kid with the big ears picking on Dumbo. That's my least favorite character.
I like that pick.
Hate that kid.
The kid started it all.
Yeah, I'm following right up behind Dequan. Same. Timothy is the best, and that kid, man.
Did I?
I know he was crucial to the story, but still, it doesn't make it better.
I agree.
Did I black out when DeQuandrick said his favorite character?
Oh my god, you did.
What? Yeah.
I was like, why are you talking? He didn't give his favorite character.
No, he was like, come on now, we all know who my favorite character is. Isn't obviously the one he's been talking about the most, being Timothy.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
So I'm liking him.
Oh man, I think I'm in the same boat. Timothy is just such a great character. I love Timothy, and that little rotten kid, man. Because you take that kid out, Dumbo would have been accepted at some point. Because he'd be, learning from his mother how to walk properly and be able to handle it. Get that kid out of here. I hate him. Timothy the goat.
I really wish I could make it a clean sweep, but I cannot say anything other than Dumbo being my favorite character.
That honestly makes sense.
Okay. Well,
I love Dumbo, but that kid sucks.
At least we all have a common enemy.
I agree.
Get the kid out of here. Kick him out.
So for Genie's inbox extravaganza, DeQuandrick, I took your advice and posted on TikTok beforehand, and it was our least liked video of all time.
Oof.
What?
But
why did you say it like that?
You just have to deliver the news like that. Like,
Jeez, man.
you could have just been like, we did not get any inboxes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I appreciate
Dequan.
Dequan,
Dequan, your advice failed.
Yeah, dude, I took your advice and it was just the worst. Like, oh my gosh, it just did not go well.
With lost followers.
Yeah, if we lost followers, I might pack my bags. Like, you know what?
But I did post it in my Disney group.
Oh, perfect.
And someone did finally ask a question, and I was super
nice.
confused by it because she said, "Why have you changed directions? I used to like you and I no longer do. I have a Mickey room and a stamp collection." So I commented back and I said, "I am not sure what you are referring to, and what did I do to change directions, and I'm sorry that you don't like me anymore." And she said, "Not you, Disney." And I said, "I can't speak for Disney, but I will acknowledge the message because it is now Pride Month, and I'm assuming when she says you changed directions is that they're Disney being more woke, and that's just not the hateful energy we want on this, even though I was talking about how great bullying was earlier."
Oh, that's funny. I'm not gonna lie.
So we'll respond to that comment by saying Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy Pride Month.
And we don't again have any questions, so please email in at themagicofanimation@gmail.com.
Actually, I have a question.
Oh, Mike has a question.
Okay. If you all had to pick, what would be the animated movie? It can be Disney or it could be anything else. What is an animated movie that, like, helped mold you into the person you've become today? Like, what has been, like, a big impact to
Moana.
you? Moana, okay.
That movie turned me into a Disney adult.
For me, like I said last week, my favorite movie was Rugrats. Both of them. And those are the ones that molded me to this day. Teaches me to treat everybody kindly. It doesn't matter how you don't know what they're dealing with. They could be dealing with something a lot. They could have a lot of loss in their life. So just treat them kindly, make them feel welcome.
Kevin.
Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah,
Ohana means family.
great movie.
Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Family isn't always blood.
I can't wait for us to cover that movie.
That was very good.
I've been watching some newer movies. Like I watched Lilo and Stitch the other day, and I watched Luca and Princess and the Frog, and I was like, man, I really want to talk about these movies, but it's going to be so long.
That's what I'm saying. Every fifth pod, we should jump forward. No.
Yeah.
Time travel, baby.
That was a good question, Mike, but you didn't answer it.
Yeah, I know. So I personally had a hard time trying to answer because there technically isn't one for me, but if I can name one kind of specifically.
You asked a question that you didn't have an answer for?
No, I did, but I have like multiple answers. That's the issue. It's trying to pinpoint a exact one. But I thought it would be a good question.
Just messing around. Just bullying.
Just bullying. But I would honestly, I'm going to say like Big Hero 6 is a big one for me.
Big Hero 6 is great.
I like its like theme of, even if someone, passes, their legacy can live on through family, through memories, through love, through care, which love and care is completely demonstrated with Baymax as a character. It is very good, and even though like I didn't have a connection with a brother, it was very emotional for me. So I would say Big Hero 6 is probably the one I'll pick for now.
We all said Disney movie except for Dequan. It's The Outsider.
Yes, sir. I like me below the production.
So that will do it. Next week we are going to watch the fantastic movie Bambi.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm really thinking a lot of us for this one. This one is about to get run through the dirt. I'm feeling like.
And then Bambi will close out the first era of Disney, which I believe is the Golden Age. And after that, we can discuss, I guess, our plan going forward. Because, Kevin, before we started, you had suggested not going in order completely, and I shot it down. But I've been swaying recently, so we'll have to discuss that.
We'll work out. We'll play with some ideas.
So
Because I'm not all for it, but I'm not against it. I don't know. It was just like one of those random car thoughts.
right, but that's gonna do it. So if you want to email us, like I said, the magic of animation. Is it the magic? Oh shoot, that's embarrassing. I believe it is the magic, but I am going to double check.
Which one are you looking for?
The email.
Email.
themagicofanimation@gmail.com. And if you want to follow us on TikTok or Instagram, it's the magic of animation with underscores in between each word for TikTok and a pod at the end for Instagram. We have we have a YouTube and a Twitter that Mike will discuss. And DeQuandrick, where can they find you?
Dinamon on Twitter @Dinamon.
And Kevin is still radio silent, I presume.
Yes, sir.
And Mikey.
So you can just follow us at the Twitter, which is the TMOA _pod. This is Magic of Animation Pod, and the YouTube, which is the Magic of Animation Podcast.
Wonderful. And if you care to catch up with me, I am on TikTok at People Call Me Joey with underscores after each word. Obviously not after Joey. That would be weird.
Also, if you have any questions for any of us or for anything, hit us up on the Instagram, the YouTube, the TikTok, the Twitter, anywhere of those, the email. I don't think you can do it on Spotify, so that's not going to work. But you can do it everywhere else.
Yeah, I don't think there's any feedback options on Spotify, which is weird. You can't even rate. You can't even give ratings on shows or songs. It's weird.
I thought I did give a 5-star on Spotify.
You might.
Well, then I might be too stupid to know it.
Let me see. Wait, no, cancel.
Yes, you can. Yeah, scroll to the top.
Well, it's probably because I'm not signed in, then it won't let me. So, anyway, so you can do that. But
Oh,
can't send
yes,
any
right
questions
there. Oh, it's on the show page. I'm never on the show page. I'm always just on individual episodes. So yeah, give us 5 stars on Spotify. What's stopping you? And that is gonna do it. See you next time for Bambi. And remember, they all lived happily ever animated.
No, wait. Gotta reel it back. Reel it back. Let's reel it back. We're gonna hold this.
Talking about Dumbo.
Yeah, we're gonna hold this back for now.
All right.
Don't get mad at Up just because you don't have an imagination.
All right. I'll bleep all that so that it gives them a cliffhanger to come back in 3 years.
We're gonna reel this back. We're gonna reel this back. Back on topic.